On this edition of Football Weekly, we profile Keon Football Club and their fight to avoid relegation. We speak to former veteran footballer and now coach of his boyhood club, George Yellowman Isaac. We provide a comprehensive coverage of the SKNFA Ordinary Congress and Executive Election. We profile St. Peter's FC striker Aiden Nurse in our player spotlight. This is Football Weekly. It's a hard road to travel for Keon FC. Sitting at the bottom of the table for most of the season, the goal of the club is to avoid relegation. The team was promoted to the Premier League last season and did well in its first year to stay up. The club has a rich history, having won the Premier League in the 2001-2002 season, becoming one of the first clubs outside of Bastia to achieve this feat. But having fallen from grace and promoted again, it hasn't been easy. Over the years, the club has been yearning for one of its own to return home and help the team stay in the Premier League and probably win another title. The veteran George Yellowman Isaac, who played several years for St. Paul's FC, helping them win titles while at the same time solidifying his place on the national team. Now, after many years, Yellowman has returned to his hometown, where he started his football career first as a player, but shortly thereafter as a coach. Football Weekly caught up with Yellowman at the St. Mary's Park in Keon, a night after team training.
The transition was an easy transition, but still, as you know, from player to coach, you gotta be very positive with the younger players then. So, on the hand, it was a kind of easy thing for me because being a while now we're doing it. So, we just farm in place one time. Well, coming back here, as you can see, it's more a young group of fellas now. So, it's kind of hard to deal with in a kind of way, but still, I just have to stick with it and just be positive with them and just stick around and help them.
As Yellowman will discover, it's difficult being a coach, especially when it comes to motivating the players to turn out for training.
It's been a while now I'm trying to motivate these guys and trying to let them to understand what the game is all about and what we task we up against, because we're in a crisis position right now, so we gotta be sacrificing ourselves, but still, and I don't know. We're having some problems with the players coming from chain. One of them who are committed, I must say, have a lot of them, but still, it's the attitude. The attitude are kind of low towards the game, and that's what I'm trying to put to them. To get the right attitude and the right determination about the football game, but still, most of them who are more committed sometimes ain't around most of the time. We ain't forward up the table and we down. The motivation still, you gotta motivate yourself because you don't want to come be to the bottom of the table all the time. So that is still supposed to be motivated by the part. Well, in the scoring part, in the last attacking third, we're working on a lot of things, a lot of times, but still, in the game we're just saying carrying out the others and sacrificing ourselves to put the ball in the back of the net. So when coming on to the end, we get squeezed by a one goal. All the time, most of the time, we get 2-1, 1-0 or something like that. So the team is playing good, but still not good enough to overcome the hurdle which we are facing right now. And scoring is a big problem for us.
Yellowman reminisced on the days when Keon excelled in the years leading up to its first title in 2002.
Well, on that team, I think we had more brotherhood, we had more love and respect for one another. And I think the dedication and the commitment used to be there. But being around the youngsters right now, that we're falling apart with. Commitment, the dedication, and the spirit, and the understanding, and the knowledge for one another, and the love and respect. Yeah, I am fully a part of the team, and I'm trying to instill in that in the team, but still, attitude again.
As he would admit, the players today in the club are not motivated by the success of the previous players.
Only some will get motivated by that, but some don't. They don't care about that. They just want to play, and sometimes it just be hard for them to just come and play and don't even think about the past or the team being going through all the time. So it's like a tradition. It's just like a tradition from the past comes straight up right up in the youths them. So, and that's the mentality they got at the moment. This is the first time around them, and I got them like for a long time, and sure enough. I forgot them for next year still and eventually stop. We're going to be a better team and with better attitude. We're not going to stick with them so long and trying to get them the right part, but if they want to get the right part, I don't know.
His experience as a player might prove vital to Yellowman in his quest to help Keon FC succeed.
It just helped me go be a successful coach because I'm going to just stay focused and stay positive and try to do my best and stick with whatever. Because I just can't, because down, I can't stay down, but still I got to be strong, I got to stay positive and stay doing the right things for the football. Yeah, with St. Paul's always, I love me still, but Keon is my community, no matter where I go. I just got to know we're part of the family all the time. So no matter where you go, community still yours, and I'm here and trying to pull back a little more in the community, but still. Sometimes the attitude that we still in Keon, we got a kind of attitude, and if you ain't be strong, you're going to fall apart. So I be a strong, good dude still and try to come through with it still.
The player coach is hoping for community support to help boost Keon to get over the hump.
Support from the communities in there quite a while now. It's just like individual spectators and fans individually come back the team and being around to see what the team is going through. But the team is going through a lot still, but just got to hold with faith and be patient and play on until the future. To all the community fans and spectators, I just ask them to just come and lend a helping hand, whether on the field, being around. I'll get these guys together and get them to be positive with one another and try to bring back a good community. Because the community is sharing and we got to build back a good vibe for the community. And based on what's going on in the community, it's falling through the football. So the community will go down and the football will go down. So we just got to come together as one and try to build a good vibes, a community vibes, not just a football vibes, but a community vibes for each of us. Okay, the community is very talented and within sports, wherever sports it is. And right now, and that's a big gap right now. The youths, them not far for the sports right now. They pick up other things. So it's gonna be hard, but still, as I say, you just gotta stay focused.
To play for Keon is kind of hard sometimes because Keon fans, they love to see the best. And trust me, they don't want nothing but the best. Right now, Keon team ain't doing too well, and trust me, we have about 5 fans, and I think there's mostly 5 girls. But them the 5 die-hard fans. And we got 1 or 2 fellas, but unless Keon ain't doing good, Keon fans won't maybe participate in supporting it. They might support from home, but in terms of come out and give us the support, we need to win games to bring them back. So I challenge the team to just come out and really try to bring back the community on board. So team, come out and let's win some more games.
St. Peter's FC striker Aiden Nurse is one of the league's most prolific strikers. He has been among the top scorers in the league for a number of seasons and is one defenders keep a special eye on. We feature him on our special Player Spotlight of the Week.
Well, it's just a competition between me and a player, Atiba Harris. And it was just competition between me and all the rest, so that encouraged me to continue playing. Because me and you are competing. Well, the fans, the team, players, and I like win. And just go out there and try to do my best. As the leader of this team, I try to set an example and score 2 goals, get assists, helping any way I can, making the team a better team. Everybody get to know me, everybody respect me, everybody show me love. I don't really pay boss. Everybody just like me for that. And I never sell out Monkey Law in my life. Yeah, this thing being a striker is you gotta always be scoring. If you ain't scoring, it's like you ain't helping your team. You gotta be contributing. Well, me really getting on professional level, so the biggest accomplishment is to win in the league in St. Kitts for my community and my team. Most of the time in football, otherwise I stay home, listen to music, be with my friends, play basketball, I play all the sports then. So, multi-talented.
Coming up, we review the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association Ordinary Congress and the re-election of Anthony Johnson as president of the SKNFA. And in extra time, it's Delphic Newtown United on the go. The St. Kitts Nevis Football Association, the SKNFA, held its Ordinary Congress on June 30th at the Sabre Room of the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. It's where all 32 member clubs of the SKNFA get a chance to discuss matters pertaining to the management of football in the Federation and, most importantly, elect a new executive to serve for another 4 years. The incumbent executive, led by President Anthony Johnson, elected in 2009, is seeking re-election and seemed ready on the day to battle. The other presidential candidates, Franklin Maitland and immediate past President Peter Jenkins, began filing in the room, including representatives of the member clubs. The Congress started late with a brief address by Anthony Johnson. It was not all smooth sailing. Of the 32 member clubs of the SKNFA, only 26 were eligible to vote.
That there are 6 clubs that are not eligible to vote, subject to Article 14, Section 4 of the SKNFA Congress, of the SKNFA statutes. These clubs are not eligible to vote because they have not participated in any SKNFA competition for the past 2 consecutive years. These clubs are Parsons United Football Club, Rastafari Structure Football Club, Sandy Point Amateur Football Association, Old Road Strikers Football Club, Defence Force Football Club, and the Blackbones Football Club.
But Mr. Chairman, all I'm asking as a member of this SKNFA is to allow me to put a motion to the Congress and have my motion voted upon. Whichever way the members vote, I'm good with it. But I should be allowed to put my motion to the Congress and let the Congress decide.
And so in the Constitution, 14.1 is where the protection is, because voting is a member's right. And you can't just take away a member's right just like that. And that is why it must come here. The Constitution says it must come here for the members to decide if you are correct, and let the body decide. The body might agree with you, but let the body decide as per the Constitution.
In the end, it was down to the major business of the day, election of a new SKNFA executive.
stand. Anthony Johnson. Anthony Johnson.
In the end, Anthony Johnson was elected as president of the SKNFA. Football Weekly caught up with the re-elected president after his victory.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Almighty God for bringing us through this process, because it has been a very hectic period in the lives of the persons who have been appearing for this election. And I want to thank all of the candidates for being involved in a democratic process, because that is really what is important here. I believe that the victory that we have obtained so far this evening, because the count is still ongoing in respect of some of the other positions, but I believe that so far the victory that we have attained is indicative of the hard work that we have put in over the last 4 years, and is a reward for such. Going forward, we have a number of plans and programs that we intend to put in place, because we are not satisfied that we have reached a level that we can attain in football development in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so we look forward to the involvement of all of the stakeholders, be it the public or the private sector, as well as the football fraternity generally. So I'm pleased, and I want to now look forward to the future. We are concentrating, one, on ensuring that Gold Project 2 gets off the ground very shortly in terms of the construction. You know, we broke ground a week ago. But that project is very important for the development of our football, because it will be a facility that will allow for the training and development of our players, our coaches, our officials in a professional setting. So that is critical. But we want to concentrate as well on improving the quality of the service that is provided at the SKNFA's office. And so one of the things that we are intending to do is to appoint a director of competitions who will be responsible on a daily basis for the smooth operation of the various leagues and tournaments. We are also looking at ensuring that in the not too distant future, the SKNFA acquires its own transportation in the form of a 25-seater coaster bus, because that will help us to reduce our transportation costs when our national teams are preparing for various tournaments, and also when we are hosting tournaments. But it will also help the clubs in ensuring that they share that bus on an arrangement that will be worked out going forward. So those are just some of the plans. We also have intention to help the clubs financially with the cost of their transportation by giving a small stipend of $500 to each member club as a participation fee. We are also looking at improving the transportation costs between St. Kitts and Nevis, or reducing that cost, and we've already gotten a commitment from one of the boat owners in the MVC Hustler, Mark Twain, to reduce the cost of travel for our players and our officials and so on from $25 to $15. We will also be providing other tangible assistance to our member clubs, particularly schools who are more poverty-stricken than the others. We want to make sure that they get uniforms and other equipment, balls, etc. But one of the most important plans that we have is to make sure, going forward, that we implement a proper insurance policy. And that we will do by taking some of the proceeds of the registration fee that is paid by each of the participating member clubs and putting it into an insurance fund. Because we have too many situations where our players have been injured over time and have not been able to get back involved in the sport for a long period because there's no coverage. We want to put an end to that.
On Extra Time this week, we review a Premier League encounter between Delphic Newtown United and this year's promoted outfit, SPD United. Both teams started out firing on all cylinders, including this strike from SPD that kept Newtown on its toes. However, Newtown fired back in a weird way in the 12th minute through Aiden Powell. SPD created several good chances but failed to put them away. Newtown also tried applying some pressure to build on their lead. The score was 1-0 at halftime. In the second half, SPD United eventually found the net, but on the wrong half. Kenneth Henry scored an own goal in the 72nd minute. The defending champions made sure SPD paid for those missed chances, though they missed some of their own. It got worse for Kenneth Henry as he received a red card in the 87th minute for deliberately handling the ball in the penalty box. Aiden Powell added to his tally with a well-taken penalty kick. Newtown sealed the win, 3-0. That will do it for this edition of Football Weekly, your guide to the Digital Premier League odds and kits. Do join us again next week, same time, same place, for another edition of Football Weekly. And don't forget the rebroadcast on Wednesdays, 6 p.m.